Guys, it is time for Conor McGregor versus Dustin Poirier 3. Nobody's watching. I don't think anyone will. Which is fine. That no one's watching. No one's watching. Oh, someone's here. Someone is here. Somebody is in the stream. I wonder who it could be. Cancel. So Conor just made his walk, and now Dustin is as well. I don't really care who wins this. I just don't want Jake Paul to be like excited that he won a fight. Oh my god, I hate this so much. You know what? I'm just gonna watch from here. It's easier this way. It's just, oh, my neck. My neck hurts. I can't get this anywhere. Whatever. You know what, guys? This is crazy. Oh god. Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna watch on my computer. It's easier this way. I'll just yeah, I'll just do that. So how you guys been? You know, it's been a while since we've had a live stream chat. So I know the lighting is terrible, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Oh, my glasses are always falling off nowadays. Anyways, Dustin Poirier is going into the octagon. The octagon. And I'm watching it on the UFC website, Nappy. What do you think I'm watching it on? I have like an itch right here. Oh god, my live streams always is so terrible. Like, I'm being brutally honest with myself. My live streams are terrible. And I can't trying to fix my shorts, so you have to bear witness to it. Did you have to pay? You have to pay for everything nowadays, Nappy. It's a capitalist society. God, I hate life right now. Okay. Okay, so we're getting closer to the fight, right? I think Conor's gonna win. I think he's gonna bring it home. I know that's not the correct terminology, but I feel like he's gonna bring it home. And I feel like, in a way, if he doesn't win this fight, you know, will he have to fight Jake Paul? I feel like he might have to, you know, to raise his stock up a little bit, you know. But I don't really care who wins, you know. Like, I don't really care about Conor. I don't care about Dustin. You know, I don't really watch UFC on the regular. Well, Nappy, you said that Billy Joe was gonna win and he lost. So I don't know if your predictions have had a historical thing of being correct. So I think it's a 50-50 fight, you know. But I don't think that you know, I'm trying to get comfortable. That's different. Nah, it's not. It's boxing. I mean, it's boxing, but it's like, it's still combat. My room smells very dusty. I don't know, you could smell dust. But I guess you can. Apparently you can. Sorry for doing this with my glasses. They're like oily. Like, hold on, let me go like that. There we go. It's still not great. And my hair is too short for this hat. Almost. I'm trying to get it so it's like this. 3 people. Oh my god! 3 people! That is a record for me. A record. So Conor is currently doing this. He is in the octagon and he is loving every second of it. Oops. I really hope Conor wins because I don't want Jake Paul to it's all because of Jake Paul. Jake Paul is the only reason why I want to see Conor McGregor like actually win this fight because if Conor loses, then Jake Paul's gonna be like talking all this trash, and I just don't want that. I don't want him to fight Jake Paul because I feel like it'd be a bit of a downgrade for him. Dustin Poirier, whatever you want to call him, is doing his announcement. I really wanted the stream to be different, but certain things happened, so it couldn't be that way. One of these days, I'm gonna get these streams right, and it's gonna be fantastic. It will be fantastic. It will be glorious. Oh, guys, here we go. Whew. The fight is gonna happen. I'm a little nervous. I'm a little nervous for Conor. I'm not gonna lie. What if he gets knocked out like Ben Askren? That'd be insane. So, guys, it is starting now. One person watching. Thanks. Just as the fight starts, everyone leaves. And they are off. Ooh, Conor goes in for a leg kick, but Dustin misses. Oh, another leg kick. Conor is going in for a more mixed martial arts stance. Already very different. Oof, nice leg kick from Conor. Yeah, Conor's taking a much more non-boxing related approach to this. Trying to go for the calves a lot, but he's got to be. Ooh, he just rocked Dustin a little bit, maybe. I don't know. Goes for another leg kick. He's definitely doing a more mixed martial arts based approach. Ooh, but Dustin almost caught him with the leg. He almost got his leg. Conor's got to be careful. He could get caught by that. But this is so far is playing out very differently from the second fight. Conor is not taking the boxing stance. He's definitely oof. Dustin just landed a good shot on Conor. Conor seems okay though. Conor feints with the leg, if that's even a phrase in boxing or MMA. Goes for another kick to the legs. So he's doing the Dustin approach, and Dustin seems to just be taking these leg calves and not really having an answer for them. So, yeah, Conor's just got to be careful. Yeah, Dustin's trying to land the leg kicks. Ooh, another leg kick from Conor. Another nice shot from Conor. So far, Conor's doing a martial arts stance. He's not boxing, and it's working for him. Ooh, Conor just got hit by a big shot by Dustin. And now they're grappling. Ooh, Conor just got him with a leg kick. Now Conor's on the cage. Conor is trying to. He's on top of Dustin. He's on top of Dustin. Oh, and Dustin's trying to flip Conor over. oh, Dustin. Oh, Conor is trying to bring. Oh, and Conor's going down. Conor's going down, and Conor is down. And I don't know what he's doing to Dustin. He's got. I think he's choking Dustin or whatever. I think Conor's got the upper hand right now because he's got his arm over Dustin's neck, but he's not really. I think he's just trying to make sure he's not getting pounded or stood up. Oh, Dustin is getting an upper hand. Oh, and he's bashing in. And Conor's really just trying to keep Dustin away from him. He's like, nope. He's putting that hand down. Oh, and Conor's he's trying to get. Ooh, Conor's trying to get away from him. Ooh, Conor just did a what's this? An arm hit. He's trying to bash him in, but there needs to be more power there. Ooh, he's going right in for the head. Oh, jeez, Conor, please calm down, my man. He's going in for the head. This way to the head? That's the hurt, man. Jeez. Ooh, and now Dustin's going in on Conor. Oh, Conor is getting beaten in badly, and oh my god. And Conor seems okay, and he's trying to do stuff, but Dustin seems to be taking this quite well. One person watching, great. That's what I expected, but it's better. We have 3 people watching at one point. Ooh, and now Connor's getting hit by Dustin. Dustin's got the upper hand. Oh, and Conor pushed him off of him. Ooh, and now Dustin's going back in for it. Very mixed martial arts based, the second fight. The first fight was very much kind of like a boxing fight with martial arts mixed in, but this is very martial arts based, and Dustin is beating up Conor. He's going in on Conor. Conor's pushing him away, trying to keep him up. They're both trying to fight back here. They're both. Ooh, Conor's just hitting him with feet shots or foot shots. Oh, and Conor's getting pounded on by Dustin. And Conor's, I think Dustin's winning this so far. Conor did good in the opening couple minutes, but then Dustin's coming back in. But they're both trying to really go for it. But I don't know if is Conor tired or something. I don't know. But Conor's really trying. He's got 20 more seconds of survival, and he's getting pounded in again and again. And he's trying to go in for the kick shots. Oh, and Conor gets back up. Ooh, and Conor gets him with a leg shot. They're back up on the ground. 10 seconds left. Ooh, Conor got knocked down. Conor got down. Oh my god. Conor just got knocked down. And the first round's over. Wait, is the fight over? Something happened. I don't know what happened. Is the fight over? Oh, something happened to Conor's foot, I think. Oh, and the fight's over. Oh my god, Conor's just lost again. Oh my god. Wow.
Dustin Poirier is going to win this fight and thereby this trilogy by TKO tonight.
Wait, did Conor's foot get hurt or something?
Let's take a look at it so we can see the end of the round. It looked like Dustin cracked him, and that's when he fell back and broke his ankle. It looked like they came together. It's like when they came together, McGregor went back. They both threw.
Oh, so Conor
Since 1872. Let's take a look at it here. Watch they come together here. Oh, he missed. They both missed. He fell back on his own ankle. Yeah, they both missed, right? Oh my goodness. It looked like they both missed. Yeah, they both missed. It looked like they came together. He fell back on his own ankle and broke it. That is crazy. I mean, that's crazy that happened.
Wow. So
Look at that. He actually broke his leg. Yeah, it's bad.
ooh. So Dustin didn't beat him per se, but Conor beat himself essentially. Because Conor went back too far with his foot and he broke it. So what a weird way to end a trilogy. Yeah, so Conor's
McGregor wanting to make sure that it is a doctor stoppage, and that is what it is.
Yeah, so I think they need to do this one more time.
I mean, the only thing we guaranteed you off the top of the pay-per-view tonight or off the top of the broadcast tonight was that something crazy was going to happen.
Because Dustin didn't really win the fight. Because I thought Dustin hit him, and that's what made him fall back. But in reality, they both missed. Conor just stepped back too much, broke his foot, or fractured it, and then went down. And then Dustin was obviously going to go for it. So Conor's lucky that this happened because he can say, "Oh, well, I slipped. I went back too much and I broke my foot." So I mean, he lost again. Technically, he did lose, but he can kind of have an excuse for it. Conor fans can have an excuse for him losing this fight, I guess you could say, because technically Conor hurt himself.
Is that the one that broke? I mean, that could be the one that broke, right? He landed so many outside kicks. But here, Dustin on the high crotch. McGregor jumps guillotine. right? A guy like Dustin Poirier is so well versed.
But I feel like before
He took his time, waited until he was able to advance to the next position. The next position was the winning position for Dustin Poirier because he dominated the grappling. He was able to posture up, land big elbows.
I feel like it was a good first round. You know what I mean? You know, it wasn't like one was exactly dominating. What a trash way to end a trilogy.
20th UFC win for Dustin Poirier, and the last two, of course, have come. His biggest against Conor McGregor. The official decision brought to you by Guaranteed Rate. Guaranteed Rate can save you money on monthly mortgage payment.
You know, I mean, oh, no one's watching now. One person's watching.
Ladies and gentlemen, at the end of round number one, Dean has called a stop to this contest based on a doctor stoppage, declaring the winner by TKO, Dustin the Diamond Poirier.
Thing was, Conor was actually going in for the kill. Like, he was trying. He wasn't half doing it. And he was taking shots. Well, they both were. You know, it was both a really good fight up until he broke his own ankle. What an L, man. What an L.
I will go to him as well, but I want your thoughts on the fight because the fight was going your way. Obviously, you got him down, you landed some vicious ground and pound, and in the last seconds of the fight, in a crazy freak accident, he misses a punch and breaks his own ankle. He fractured on one of the checks at the beginning of the fight. Then he broke on a punch, yeah, for sure. When I pointed at him at the beginning of the fight, that's when I checked a good kick. I bet that's when it cracked. You felt it. I felt something, but I mean, he's kicking me hard, you know.
So Conor might have been kicking too hard.
Yeah, it was probably cracked, and then just on the twist of the punch, finished. You know, this is a very strange fight. In that the first fight there was all this animosity. The second fight, Conor was very friendly to you, but then leading up to this third fight in the last few weeks, he's made things very personal. Yeah. I can take, you know, like even the trash, like there's no holds bar with the trash.
You know, I mean, here's the thing. Conor kind of deserves this, you know. I mean, he's done a lot of terrible things outside of fighting, and it's karma, you know. So I don't feel bad for him for losing all these fights, but I just want him to win because I don't want Jake Paul, because now Jake Paul's gonna just be so annoying. I don't know if it was exactly going in Dustin's way, but I think it was, you know, I think Conor just hit him too hard. And maybe that just shows that he's too old for this, you know? I think Conor should go into boxing, honestly, because I just think the MMA thing's not working for him. But, you know, there's going to be a lot of debate with this fight, guys. This is not going to be a pretty outcome because the Conor fans are going to be like, well, Dustin didn't really beat him. And technically, Dustin didn't beat Conor. Conor beat himself. Conor, I think, hit too hard, and then he stepped back too much, and he fractured his ankle or whatever. So, I mean, Dustin didn't beat Conor in this last fight, technically. It was Conor that beat himself. And if the fight had continued and Conor hadn't beaten himself, he probably would have made it out of the first round, and he still had a really good chance at beating Dustin. But they were both doing good. You know, I mean, it was a good fight. They were both having their moments of success and weaknesses. And then this happened. You know, so there can be an excuse made for this, but it's an L, but it's not like a pure L. But it's like the most unexpected thing. But maybe Conor should just go into boxing instead of MMA. You know, I know he likes MMA. That's his bread and butter, but like boxing's just, you know, I think it's for a guy that hits his age, it's probably a bit less taxing on the body. That's crazy, man. What a way to end it. I want to see what Conor is saying.
Obviously stopped in a horrible way. Give us your thoughts on how it was going. It was boxing the bleeding head off him, kicking the bleeding leg off him. Usual shit doing to close the distance. This is not over. If we have to take this outside with him, it's all outside. We don't give a bollocks. He said that he believes that one of the kicks that he checked is what broke your leg. There was no check. There was not one of them I checked. Your wife is in me DMs, hey baby. Hit me back on my check here later on.
Wow, Conor's still talking trash.
You're looking big, you little hoe. Fuck him. Conor, you missed with a punch and stepped back. Tell us what you felt. Tell us what you thought was going on. Just the thing had separated and the blade landed on the wonky leg like Anderson's ill at that time. Something similar to that. It's a fucking mad out business. Fuck's sake. Listen, it was a wild fight for as long as it lasted. I'm sure you'll be back, and I'm sure you're going to want Dustin again, and I'm sure he'll oblige you. Yeah.
The frustration boiling over for Conor McGregor.
That's got to be so frustrating, though. You know, to lose because you step back too far. But I guess that's what happens in MMA.
You hear how real it is, right? The emotion. Dustin was trying to go at him over there, and then Conor was yelling at him. These guys don't like each other, man, and I can't imagine.
Oh, this is weird. I don't want to see a fourth fight, but maybe I think they should have a boxing fight, potentially. Because, yeah. Most knockouts in UFC lightweight history. That is crazy. What a terrible way to end a trilogy, though. What a way to go out, man. What a way to go out. That is poor. Yeah. I mean, Conor did lose, but he didn't really lose. He, kind of just lost.
Thank you so much, John Charles. What is your reaction to everything you just saw?
Obrigado, Charles. Qual foi a reação a tudo que aconteceu hoje à noite? A gente fica triste, né? A gente nunca quer ver o cara perder dessa forma, né? Mas faz parte. Parabéns ao Dustin. Like I said, we don't never want to see a guy lose like that, but it happened. So congratulations to Dustin.
Had this gone into a second round, what do you think would have happened?
E se continuasse isso pro segundo round, o que você acha que poderia ter acontecido?
Well, Logan lost money. Logan betted on Conor. A lot of people betted on Conor. And Conor's been taken out on a stretcher. That will be Jake Paul one day, though. Jake Paul will be taken on a stretcher one day. But you know what? I don't feel bad for Conor, really, because he punched an old man. He did all these terrible things in life. He's making up for it in the octagon, you know? He's making up for it. Karma comes for people that do bad things, and he's done bad things, and he's paying for it. But it's got to be frustrating because that second round could have gone either way, honestly. It was still a very competitive fight. Dustin wasn't dominating, and Conor wasn't dominating. You know, it was an equally good. It was a good fight. I was like, yes, this is really good. But then the stupid thing had to happen. So they should have a boxing match, I think.
Thanks, Teddy. It looks to me like Conor has entered that phase of his career where an ending like this may help him in a way, because people are saying, even on this broadcast, well, there wasn't a definitive conclusion to the fight in a fight that he was clearly losing. Your thoughts?
It's not going to physically help him, and you think about Joe Theismann, you think about the football injuries, and when you've seen this kind of injury before, not everybody even returns from that injury. So that's the first thing you got to think about.
Wow.
Is how unfortunate that is and how dire that injury can be. But for me, he was winning the fight, Poirier being he, is always about the battle of geography. Who wins the battle of geography? Who gets to the area in the ring, or in this case, in the cage, that is best suited for their talents? And that was Poirier. There's no doubt about it, because he's better grappler, he's better at jiu-jitsu, he's better on the floor, on the mat. And he got to the place he needed to be. He needed to get in close, one way or the other. Close in striking or close when he was...
These guys are saying that Dustin was winning the first round. I thought it was... I mean, I guess you could make an argument for that, but I think Conor definitely had the potential to still win that fight, and I don't think he was losing like poorly that first fight. But okay, it's over. So yeah, wow. Oh man, Jake Paul's gonna be so annoying. It's gonna be so annoying to listen to him now. It's gonna just be so annoying to listen to this dude. Yo, what's up, JK? Crazy fight, guys, crazy fight. Um, Although Jake Paul, luckily, I don't think they ever showed him. I don't think they showed Jake Paul on the UFC stream, which was good. And they didn't show the former president. But we don't need to say his name. But yeah, man, I only wanted Conor to win so Jake Paul could just go away. I don't really care about Conor, and I think he's a decent guy. I don't like to see people fail, but he kind of deserves to lose a lot now because he's done some not so great stuff in his life. I was just about to fall asleep. Good thing I didn't. Yeah. But thanks for joining the stream. But I mean, this was not a definitive end because the people are gonna say, okay, we're gonna get Angel in on the call.
Oh, that was the most satisfying thing ever. Conor, you did that.
That was such a weird way to end a trilogy. Such a weird way to end a trilogy.
It really was. But Dustin was winning the fight, in my opinion.
I honestly thought I thought Conor still had the potential to win, but it wasn't. I thought it was it was a fun fight to watch, and they just stepped back too far, and he just cracked his leg. So I think they should do a boxing fight. I don't think anyone wants to see a UFC fight, but I think they should do a boxing fight.
You don't think nobody wants to watch a UFC fight?
No, I'm saying I don't think anyone would want to watch a UFC fight with Conor and Dustin for a fourth time. I think you have to change it up a little bit. So
who would win about? I don't know.
I think Conor would have
that.
I think it would be a little bit more in Conor's favor because I think he's better there. But I think but I still think it's a 50-50.
I think Conor's. Yeah, I think boxing wise, Conor has way more skill than Dustin in the stand-up game.
Yeah.
But Dustin's chin, man, there's a reason why he's nicknamed the Diamond.
Yeah, he was taking shots like it was nothing. He was getting literally pounded in the head, and I was like, how are you still awake? I was like, I'm impressed.
And then
that's impressive.
The last 40 seconds, bro, Dustin gave Conor hell with the ground and pound. I think Dustin won that round. Holy, that ground. I really thought Herb Dean was going to end the fight. Did you see the undercard by any chance? The guy with the green hair?
I only saw one fight from the undercard. But what happened?
Okay. Sean O'Malley was just beating this dude up. It was straight stand-up. There was no grappling, right? It was just jab, hook, right, left.
Yeah.
For 3 rounds consecutively, Sean O'Malley landed 300 punches on this guy. He was bleeding like crazy, but he still kept walking forward. He showed heart of a lion and gained so many fans today.
Yeah, that's crazy. But I only wanted Conor to win because Jake Paul's going to be talking for days now about this. He's going to be so annoying. Because I don't hate Conor, but I also don't really care about him. You know what I mean? I don't care if he loses or wins, but I really just don't like that Jake Paul is going to just be talking all of this trash on social media now until forever now. He's got all what he needs. Conor got taken out in a stretcher. That's gold.
But that's kind of ironic, bro, because he was saying all press, I'm gonna make this man live in a stretcher.
Oh yeah, he said he was gonna leave in a stretcher, and he ended up in a stretcher. That is ironic. That's life is cool in that way.
Yeah,
that's terrible.
I'm don't get me wrong. I'm happy Conor lost because I'm a big Dustin fan. I'm just not happy how he won.
Yeah, because he technically didn't beat him. Conor beat himself. You know what I mean? It wasn't Dustin. I mean, you could say Dustin was winning, but he didn't TKO him. He was a doctor's stoppage. Yeah.
However, Dustin said that it was one of his legs that helped crack to loosen up the leg snap. Yeah. Now, whether that's true or not, it's not completely far-fetched because a leg doesn't just snap like that from a misplace.
Yeah, I mean, he did step back really weird, but I think maybe he was hitting a bit too hard, and maybe that just shows that Conor's just getting a little too old for this. He's, not the young guy that he was, physically, and he said he wants to continue. If he beat Dustin tonight, he was going to continue to go fight on, and I'm like, I feel like you're at the end of your road almost. I feel like you shouldn't overextend because clearly you're just not. You weren't motivated the last fight, and this fight it just shows that maybe you're just not as strong from like a physical standpoint as you were like 5 years ago.
Yeah, because there's only two possible ways why his leg broke. Either Dustin was telling the truth. I mean, even he doesn't know the truth.
Yeah.
But if it is true, that's possible why his leg snapped. Because it's Conor McGregor. He's been fighting for years. Muscle memory. There's no way he would take a misstep like that. So either his leg got snapped, like Dustin said, or Dustin or Conor McGregor got to the point of so old, so weakened, that his muscle memory has left his footwork and that he actually forgot how to have a stance.
Yeah, I mean, he was definitely doing a different approach. Like, he was definitely not boxing Dustin really this time around. Because, like, the second fight, he was like, it was more like a boxing way of fighting Dustin. Whereas this, he was like doing leg kicks and definitely not like
Yeah, he brought his karate stuff.
Yeah, but
he brought his karate.
Yeah, but clearly it just was not working out for him, because I wouldn't be surprised if he hit Dustin too hard with his leg, or he did something wrong, and that's one of the reasons why it led to him just completely like, fracturing or whatever. Because originally I thought Dustin hit him, and I thought he got rocked, and then I thought that's what happened, but because I had it on mute, and so then when I saw like, oh, he actually hurt himself. So, but he got to be really frustrated. Like, that's how you lose, by like because you just did something wrong. Like, that's got to be frustrating though.
Me and Nappy had this prediction right. We both said, Conor.
I didn't believe Nappy, only because of what happened with Billy Joe and Canelo. I was like, you said Billy Joe was gonna win, and then he didn't win. So I was like, I'm gonna go with Conor. But I thought it was a 50-50 fight when it was announced. But Conor looked like he was wanting to win. Like, he looked more motivated than the second fight. But I just think he's getting too old, honestly. I think that is what happened here tonight. He's aging.
Yeah, my personal opinion, I honestly think that he was forcing himself to believe that he still had the hungriness. All this trash talk he was doing, it just seemed like he was trying to reach into his old bag. I don't know if that makes any sense. Like, I just feel like he was trying to convince himself that he is what the fans still want him to believe. Yeah. But in reality, he probably thinks this is just an act that he's doing for the camera. Unlike back then where it was actually real.
Yeah, like, I mean, when you get all this money and then you don't fight for like years after you fight like Floyd Mayweather or whatever, it's like you lose your motivation and your drive and everything. But I think you should just go in. I think you should go into boxing, because I think boxing probably isn't as taxing as MMA is, and you could probably fight some people. I don't want him to fight Jake Paul. Like, he should only do that if Jake is like beats like good people. Then because, but like. Yeah, I feel bad for him, but not really.
Oh,
what?
Oh, sorry. I'm connected my mic by accident.
Oh. So do you think Conor will box Jake Paul now? Do you think that might be more of a possibility?
Honestly, man, I don't know.
I feel like if Jake really destroys who's he? Oh, Woodley and whatever. I think that Conor might be a little bit more intrigued, because like I think Conor would have the upper hand right now. But in 2 years, if Jake continues being people, maybe not. But like that could redeem him in a huge way. You know what I mean? Like, I said this like back in February or whatever. Like, that is a fight that everyone would like. Whoever beats Jake Paul is going to be as beloved as like Obama or like Martin Luther King Jr. Like, I'm not trying to like say that they're like they solved racism or whatever, but like those people are beloved by like everyone in America. So, well, maybe not Obama, but like Martin Luther King Jr., for example, everyone loves the guy, right? And it's like that whoever beats Jake Paul is going to be like that level of status. Like, people are going to be praising whoever beats him. So, that's an easy
but I feel
for
like
Conor.
Conor doesn't need the praise. He's already one of the most beloved athletes in the entire world. Even when he was the underdog, the stadium was still chanting his name. But the way the stadium booed at Dustin and cheered at Conor, you would have never have guessed that Conor was the betting underdog. Conor is loved. He has his own statue in Dublin. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, but I feel like if he... What were you going to say?
I feel like this fight of Jake would be more even now just because of that injury, that leg snap injury. Oh, my God, his footwork must be awful now because of that injury.
Yeah, we're going to have to see, like, because you probably will be, out of training for a long, long time. So I don't even know if that fight would happen this year, if it would be wise for him to do that. But yeah, I mean, I feel like people like are always gonna love him, and they love him now. And it's the outcome of this fight's gonna be so like messy because you're gonna have the Conor fans and the Dustin fans arguing and debating. It's gonna be like Fury versus Wilder all over again, except I mean, Wilder lost very convincingly, whereas McGregor, technically hurt himself and beat himself. But like, I just feel like his legacy will be like he was really great, but then he kind of let it all go at the end, which. I mean, I guess people will still love him for that, but I feel like it would kind of be remembered better if he fought Jake Paul and beat him, But I mean, I kind of want KSI to do that, so I don't know.
Honestly, man, I'm just lost for words.
I know that was
because this fight
has this ever happened before in like a main event this big? Where like someone's hurt themselves. I'm sure it happened.
This has happened many times before, but not on this scale of views.
Yeah, like not on this level. Like I haven't really heard of anything.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Oh,
did you see the Bread Batch's post? Go to the Bread Batch and look at their most recent post.
The Conor thing.
Yeah, Conor looks at the phone and it's him. Oh god,
dude,
that's.
I don't think there should be a fourth fight.
There's so many memes to make out of this.
Yeah, I don't think there should be a fourth fight, man. Because if there's a fourth fight and Conor loses again, the score would be 1-1, 2-1 to 3-1.
Yeah, but
that's think that Conor would get absolutely embarrassed knowing that he got 3-1 by his first ever UFC test.
Yeah, like
by the first guy he beat. That's crazy.
Yeah, like he's had 2 losses this year, and both of them have been pretty embarrassing. Like this, somehow this managed to top his last loss. Like he got taken out on a stretcher, and last time he just got knocked out. It's like that's crazy.
Yeah, man.
I mean, that's why I think he should box him, because I feel like it would be a little bit more in his favor. Dustin.
I don't think Dustin would even take that.
Yeah. But he needs to redeem himself. Do you think he should fight again, or do you think he should just call it a day?
Call it a day, man.
Yeah.
Call it a day. It's like Tyron Woodley's last 3 fights were against monsters of the UFC, and he lost because the UFC was trying to get rid of Tyron Woodley, so they purposely gave him the 3 best fighters back to back.
Yeah.
So he was on a losing streak of 3 of the best UFC fighters. Conor's on a losing streak to the same fighter. One person.
Yeah.
I think he should just hang up the gloves, man, before he keeps hurting his legacy.
Yeah.
Huh? Oh, interesting. Yeah, I just feel like he should stop before he ruins his legacy, man. At some point, people are going to look at him like Chuck Liddell at the end of his career.
Why? Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, Chuck Liddell seems like he's worse than McGregor, even, Yeah. Yeah, I see that. It's a terrible way to go out.
Chuck Liddell's retirement fight was the trilogy he lost. I feel like it's going to be the exact same with Conor. His last fight would be the trilogy he lost. But then again, knowing Dana White, how much he loves sucking off Conor McGregor, he might give him another fight.
What are your thoughts on Fury and Wilder getting postponed?
It sucks, but it's COVID.
I mean, but who even wanted? I'm kind of like, maybe this is a good thing because no one wanted this fight. Like, no one cared about this fight at all, really.
I don't think it's a good thing because now this just postpones Anthony Joshua and Fury even longer.
Yeah. Wait, isn't Joshua fighting in October as well?
Yeah, so it's gonna just, oh my god. Because if, let's say, it was this month, right?
Yeah.
Or was it in August?
Yeah, no, it was in like 2 weeks. It would be like 3 weeks from today, I think.
Yeah, so if Fury mopped the floor with Wilder this month, we would have had the fight of Fury and AJ by December or January.
Yeah.
But now we have to wait till like goddamn March or April or May.
Yeah, the springtime. And like this gives Wilder more time to train though, like the Wilder fans are probably happy about this. Wilder is too.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. I'm worried about Tyson Fury too because he has this weird idea. Don't get me wrong, I still think he's gonna beat Wilder, but Yeah, Fury has this weird idea that he has to be 300 pounds this fight. I don't know why, but if that's what he wants. I just don't think it's smart how he's going from his somewhat thin physique to 300 pounds and then going back to his thin physique. I feel that it's going to have a physical toll on him, just like Roy Jones Jr. had in his career.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if Usyk beats... Wait, Anthony Joshua is fighting Usyk, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, but if Usyk beats Joshua, then we're not going to get Joshua versus Fury.
Yeah, dude. And honestly, Usyk, I feel like he can pull the upset. Usyk is an amazing fighter, unified cruiser champion, and he's going into heavyweight. He's following the path of Evander Holyfield.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
I like
pulls an upset.
I like upsets because it makes things more interesting. And I don't hate Anthony Joshua, but I mean, I don't need him to. Well, I want him to win. I want to see Fury versus Joshua really bad. But like, you know, it would be kind of cool to see an upset happen on that large of a scale. You know what? I would rather have Tyson Fury lose than Anthony Joshua, just because it would that would really be like a what happened moment, because he dominated Wilder so much that it would just completely make everything more interesting. Because I think Wilder was going to fight Joshua for a while, and then that kind of stopped, and then he fought Fury, and then he lost and whatever. So, yeah, I think there'll be an upset in at least one of the fights. I'm hoping, just to make it more interesting.
If Usyk beats AJ, I would pray to see Usyk versus Andy Reeves. They're the same height.
Well, if Usyk and Tyson Fury fought, who would win? In your opinion?
Usyk and Tyson. Tyson Fury. Honestly, I think Tyson Fury is the king of heavyweights. He just moves so smoothly.
Yeah, he's a big guy.
Such a big man.
Yeah. He's got and you can't really. It's really hard to keep him down. Like, he takes punches very well. Like Dustin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
However, he has a fragile body. He has a chin made of steel that not even modern crack, but his bodies are fragile. He got knocked down by a cruiserweight boxer, not even a true heavyweight. Every time he's been knocked down in his career, besides the Wilder fight, they've always been through body shots. So I feel like that's AJ's plan, to be honest with you, just straight body shots on him.
Yeah. Oh, guys, this was a crazy fight. I'm still like, I can't believe this happened. The memes, though, are very funny. It's gonna be like gold for Jake, which is terrible.
Honestly, oh my god, I cringed at Jake Paul's stupid chain. It was like the most awkwardest thing ever.
It was kind of nice looking, though. I will give him that, and I don't give him credit for a lot of things, but I kind of thought it was a really cool necklace. I didn't.
Oh my god, he made this one video where he's like, "Nighty night, Conor," and he was rubbing the bald head. That made me uncomfortable.
Do you think he is gay for him? Maybe.
Possibly.
That could be I think he's just a big fanboy who wants that fight so bad.
Jake Paul was at the Conor fight. He was at the UFC fight.
Yeah,
I'm happy that. Notice how Jake Paul didn't make a scene during this fight, because he would have got killed.
By who? I mean, Conor couldn't move.
No, but Conor's goons. Oh my god, the Irish Mafia. Jake Paul just tweeted, "My new offer for Conor McGregor is $23."
Oh, Jake Paul just tweeted that?
Yep. Oh my god.
Oh, and then he just said, "Dustin Poirier, want me to ship this to you? 100K gift from me. I think you deserve it." And it was NyQuil and Conor McGregor's chain of him. Yeah.
See what the Diamond tweeted? Dustin Poirier, think. He didn't tweet nothing yet. Okay. I'm gonna check Twitter. I'm gonna search UFC hashtags. All right. Someone tweeted. Oh my god, I'm going through the UFC stuff. Crazy to think that at the end of the weigh-in, Conor said he would be taken out on a stretcher, and now Conor gets taken out on a stretcher. Yeah. Man, this game we play is so crazy. Hats off to Diamond. Dumb take, but do you, boo boo? Dustin Poirier is officially the worst guy. Shut the fuck up and take your win. You can't talk shit when you win like that. It's like Funkmaster talking shit. It's ridiculous. And someone said, "Dumb take, but do you, boo boo?" Boo boo. The sport is crazy. You never want to see anyone down with an injury of this severity. I hope Conor recovers and bounce back. Someone says, "Why would you want him to bounce back? Man is on a loss streak to the same guy."
I don't think he can bounce back right now. He's on a stretcher. It's funny. He physically can't. He actually can't bounce back. Like he's literally in a cast.
You can try to crawl.
Yeah.
Someone said tough luck, shit happens. He'll love Conor.
Although he's had 2 severe leg injuries now. Like that's not going to be good for him later on.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, did you see that Adam Sala is going to spar KSI?
Yeah, I think we talked about this.
We did?
Yeah, I told you that. Even if Adam Sandler, even though he's a fake boxer, even if he had the skill to outbox KSI, the weight is just way too far off.
Yeah.
Just a jab would hurt Adam.
Yeah.
Oof. That was scary, man. Adam Sandler just posted a picture, said, I'm on a mission to become the best with his physique and his body.
Mm-hmm.
And someone said, wow, what a nice body. Surely a guy wouldn't like this. Wow. The trans joke.
Oh.
That was a rough blow to their image that I don't think they're ever going to recover from, dude. About the trans, bro. Jesus Christ. So I feel bad for Niall at the bread batch because he was like he was like a big, huge Conor fan.
He is?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's Irish.
He was
right?
making these. Yeah, he was making these posts saying how like Conor never loses when he has his haircut. He'll surely beat Dustin.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he technically just took a misstep, and that's how he lost. But you know, it still was an L. He still lost, though. He still lost.
He either took a misstep or he was serious about that cake, man. We would never know. I loved how Dustin did the walk to Conor while he had his leg broken. Karma, dude. He was putting his wife on the spot, called his newborn child a rat. Oh, I'm so happy he did that.
Yeah, I mean, he's done stuff in his beyond, like in the past, like 5 years that haven't been that great. So, I mean, it might just be a lot of karma, and that's why he's just losing all of these fights. And I mean, some could say he deserves to lose these fights based on his actions outside of fighting.
Yeah. So, what do you think about? Okay, so Dustin's going to have a title fight soon next for the lightweight belt. Do you think Dustin can take the title?
Who is he fighting?
No clue. He's not a household name, but he is a fighter. So, let's check UFC lightweight rankings. UFC number 1. Oh wait, hold up. Let me look for lightweight. Oh, Charles Oliveira, that Brazilian dude, bro. He's the guy who does all the fancy kicks and shit, and he always lands and he gets knocked out. I don't expect you for him to know him because I barely know him, but like he's like just some fancy dude. He's like Israel Adesanya on crack. Do you think Dustin Poirier can take the belt? Do you think he would be? He's never been a UFC champion before. He's hold the interim champion, but that's not even a real belt. That's just something to show that you're the second best.
I mean, I guess you can. I mean, he's beaten Conor, and I feel like he talks about his heart and like Conor has money, but I have heart and stuff. And I feel like he's a guy on a mission. So I feel like I'd back him, but you know, I don't think he has. It's not like he's 100% going to. You know, I mean, I don't really follow UFC as much as I do boxing, but I think he could do it. I think he could pull it off. At some point, I mean, he's definitely got the momentum now.
Yeah, I think he's gained some clout.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay, so the person is going to fight for the title has 31 wins, 8 losses, and 0 draws.
Wow.
You know what I always find interesting about UFC? Nobody in the boxing is so much more diverse, while UFC is literally a club, only a certain amount of fighters, while boxing is global, right? So I feel like the competition in UFC is way harder merely because only a few selected members are there. But while in boxing, you have all these bums and trash cans to pick from. So in UFC, nobody has the perfect record except to beat. Everyone has losses.
Yeah.
In boxing, you would see a lot more perfect records that are clean.
Yeah, and that's what I don't like about boxing. I don't like that people just fight bums like Jake Paul.
All right, so that's all I gotta say on this topic. Now I need to go call my friend and celebrate because we're both Dustin fans.
Okay.
Anything you want to say?
No, I'm good.
Andre?
I'm good.
All right. Oh wait, did you? Oh wait, this is one guy who, after he won the fight, drinking beer out of a shoe.
Oh wow, that's gross.
All right, later.
There. And that is all I really have to say, guys. Oh, also, I made a video on KSI spoiling Kyle Freezy, and I just want to say, I'm not trying to make him out to be this great guy, this great boxer. I'm just saying that he looked really good in that. I was just pointing out the positives, and I showed the flaws too. So, for the people that are saying I'm trying to make him look good, I'm not. I'll do a breakdown on the other guy soon. Yeah. That's what I said besides Khabib. Angel Khabib has a perfect record twin, I know. So I said besides Khabib. Yeah, Nappy, you weren't paying attention, man. Oh, I do want to play you guys a clip from... No, struggling to just put R.I.P. Mcgregor. It's true, Conor. It's kind of true. He kind of died tonight. Watch Roundhouse Radio's Why Jake Paul Might Lose breakdown video. Do I want to show this on stream? I feel like you guys should just watch it. It's a really good video.
Hey guys,
Oh, there's no ads.
Wow.
Wow.
Hit that like and subscribe button. Today we're talking about Jake Paul. We're talking about a hole in Jake Paul.
You know what? I'm gonna show you the video.
Him getting caught with that shot.
Oh,
Really his right hand counter as well.
my phone is
Hey guys,
terrible.
welcome back. In fact, he proved it in his most recent fight against in a couple other of his fights. The fact that he threw out with that shot again.
Hold on.
Himself, right? It seems like something that's becoming a bit of a habit, and that habit could really punish him against a guy like Tyron Woodley. As we know, man, Tyron Woodley's biggest tool is his right hand. It's really his right hand counter as well. So that's the shot that Jake really has to worry about. That's also the shot that he's been caught with a couple times. And he just released sparring footage of him getting caught with that shot again. It's the shot that Ben Askren landed on him. It's a shot that he was exposed to against in a couple other of his fights. The fact that he throws a jab to the body or, throws a jab of some sort and sort of ducks his head off to the side. And he exposes the back of his head and right behind the ear. Now, if he exposes that shot against a guy like Tyron Woodley, especially early in the fight, and Tyron's able to take advantage of it, he's going to get cracked behind the equilibrium. And that shot is incredibly difficult to come back from. Tyron Woodley has proved that he still has the power and he still has the accuracy to find that shot. In fact, he proved it in his most recent fight against a guy like Vicente Luque, who's one of the most durable guys in the UFC. And that rocked Vicente. Realistically, man, I don't see Jake being able to take a shot like Vicente Luque can take a shot. So if Jake is open to that shot, he's going to be in some serious trouble. This is a gap that he needs to fix. As you can see, Jake likes to counter with the left hook, but boxing is a lot of the time about, is this shot a good trade? Right? So you have to ask yourself, is the shot of Jake sort of offhand leaning to the side, throwing a left hook that he's not even looking at, he's looking away while throwing the left hook, is that a good trade to a Tyron Woodley right hand behind the ear? The answer is going to be definitely not, guys. So if Jake Paul doesn't want to get knocked out, if Jake Paul wants to continue and win this fight, he's going to have to make sure that gap isn't there. Now, before people come at me, I agree with the odds makers, man. I think that Jake Paul should be the favorite in this fight. I think that he's showed us the skill and the abilities in the boxing ring. I think that Tyron isn't experienced enough, and I think that Tyron's at the tail end of his career. He's really proved to us that he doesn't really have that dog left in him anymore. So I agree with the odds makers that Jake Paul should be the favorite. But this is a real fight, guys. That's what makes this fight exciting. So if you think that Jake Paul is not susceptible to getting hurt in this fight, if you think that Jake Paul can't lose this fight, you're absolutely wrong. And this shot, man, this shot being available is definitely a big negative if we're looking at Jake Paul's boxing ability and his ability to survive in this fight. Jake Paul has to be able to not get hit with the right hand early. That's the shot. That's the big shot that if Tyron Woodley lands, this fight can be over in a matter of seconds, man. It's the ultimate equalizer. He's proved it time and time again in his career. Jake doesn't have the ability to wrestle him. Jake doesn't have the ability to take him to the ground and wear on him. Jake has to be able to outbox him. And he can do that by remaining defensively responsible, especially to the right hand. And right here, he's demonstrating that he might not be able to take that shot, that he might be not able to defend against that shot properly. If he keeps ducking his head like this, if he keeps exposing himself to the counter right hand, he's going to have some big trouble against a guy like Tyron Woodley. Thanks so much, guys. I hope you understand that, I have no ill will towards Jake, honestly, and I'm just giving you my honest opinion about a gap that I've seen.
So that gap is something I have told you guys has been there since Gib. Well, he goes like this and he gets countered. And he I think what he said was he put his head to the side or whatever and he exposes himself. That is something that no one's really capitalized. And we saw with the Ben Askren thing, the Roundhouse Radio, he's right though. Ben hit him with that shot. What did Jake Paul do? He ran away. I'll play it back for you guys just so you can see. Hold on, where is it?
And landed on him. So the shot.
So as you can see, oops, hold on. It's coming up. Look at he runs away from that. He runs away. Hold on. Look at. He does that, and hold on. He gets caught with it right there. He gets hit with it by Ben Askren, goes away. And what's funny is there's a moment when Ben Askren just does this, and Jake Paul literally runs away from Ben Askren, and he goes like this. He just goes like, I'm like, this guy doesn't like pressure. And it's controversial to say this, because all the Jake Paul fans are going to come out and be like, you don't know what you're talking about boxing and what are you, an expert? You're trying to make him sound like he's like what, Chuck Liddell? Guys, I'm not a boxing expert. I'm not trying to downplay Jake. You got to criticize the guy. You got to not be fully positive, as I'm not with KSI. And that gap is the biggest flaw in Jake Paul's whole plan. And it's something that he has not improved on ever. Gib, Nate Robinson, Ben Askren, and just in his recent sport, he is continuing to do this move again and again and again, which kind of tells me, is your team full of yes men? Because a team that's full of yes men would improve upon that, right? KSI, for example, he had terrible defense in 2018. Not very good. 2019, boom, he gets Jeff Mayweather. His defenses were a lot better. And he did a lot more body shots. KSI constantly gets better, and then there's always a new flaw that comes out. And as opposed to Jake, where he is obviously getting better, but he's now continuing to do the one bad thing again and again and again. And it makes me think, if you're part of the team, why aren't you telling this guy to improve upon that certain gap? I just don't get it. I don't understand why they wouldn't tell him to improve upon that. So I say this, they know what they're doing and they work him hard, but they're yes men. And I think BJ Flores is a yes man, as is his whole team. And that's just my opinion on it. I'm sorry that I have to say that, but it's true. It's true. They're yes men. And I don't think they're doing this because they care about him. I think they're doing about this because it's the money and it's Jake Paul and he's fresh and new. But when he loses, they go away. It's what happens, and he's hot right now. And he's the only one that's getting knockouts and whatever. So that's the big gap. And I always say that. And when someone that actually knows what they're doing, has power, and is really good at what they're doing, is able to land it, it's going to be beautiful. It's going to be beautiful. And I don't think he'll be able to survive it. I think he could get knocked down by that shot. You think his team's full of yes men because of one flaw? Question mark. Well, no. Because if you are doing one bad thing again and again and again, it shows to me, that why isn't that being improved upon? Someone said, Jake, someone mentioned on BJ Flores' live, a flaw he saw in Jake's plan. And he said, oh no, he doesn't have any flaws, or when has his coaches ever criticized him in public? You know what I mean? When has that ever happened? KSI's windmill technique has never changed. Again, windmill technique was in Logan fight. He never does any windmills in any other sparring fight, including the Joe Weller fight. And again, he had to be scrappy with him. That's what his coaches told him to do. Obviously, they didn't want him to go so wild, but that was in the fight. You know what I mean? I'm going to give you an example. KSI, if you look at the first fight and the second fight, his defense was way better in the second fight. Whereas, and if JJ had the same defense in the second fight, I would think maybe your team is not exactly very realistic with you. But yet he improved upon that. So when you're doing something again and again and again, why isn't your team working on that with you? Why isn't your team trying to fix that? And when I watch the videos of his coach and everyone else around him, I see them as yes men. That's the vibe I get from them. I don't know what they do in camp, but he just seems like all of them don't really criticize Jake. You know what I mean? We've seen Vidal and KSI fight. We've seen Vidal criticize JJ. We've seen Vidal say, I don't think KSI is going to win this fight if he's not going to take more fights. You know, to be fair, there's a chance they are yes men. Just for this one flaw, they are blindsided by the vital KO that might possibly not care about the one shot Jake takes, which he should have dodged. That's it. To be fair, there's yes. Again, when you are winning viral KOs and you're getting blindsided because they're getting paid more money. You know what I mean? BJ Flores' paycheck has only gone like this since the Gibb fight. And so has the annoying guy that was with Mayweather. What was his name? I don't remember. But the annoying guy. Not BJ Flores, but there's like another annoying black dude that's was with Mayweather. I don't know. You guys probably know who he is. I don't remember him off the top of my head. Anyways, again, if you are winning constantly and getting viral knockouts and your paycheck's going up, you think everything's working. You think everything's okay, and you decide, we don't need to work on this. Jake's going to be fine, and we're getting paychecks, so we're not going to criticize you because it's just easier to just lay back and say, yay, Jake. You know, that happens in camps. That happens in boxing camps. Deontay Wilder's trainer said Wilder thought he knew everything. No one could criticize him. And you know why? Wilder said that because Wilder was getting KOing everybody. He was never had anything that he needed to work on. So, you know, and I think everyone was saying that Tyson Fury was Wilder's like true test, like his really like a really tough challenge for him, and he failed. It's not about if the shot wasn't a big deal or is it risky. It's about the fact that there's always room to grow. But BJ has a if it's not broken, why change it instead of the saying always room to grow. I agree with that. I don't know if he necessarily uses that same mentality, but I think BJ Flores and the team might be a little complacent. And you know, BJ Flores and Jake's like video they put on Instagram, you hear him saying anyone, anytime, any place, and I'm like, okay, so KSI back in 2018, Dylan Moran, Tommy Fury. How does that chant just seems a bit hypocrisy, you know? So don't say that unless you're actually about it, because you're not. Dylan Moran didn't even want to fight you. He just wanted to go into the gym and box you doghouse style. And if you're about this life and you can beat Conor, fight him. It's like, and he's like got people under his palm of his hand. I think the only true person he dodged was Dylan Moran. I think, he dodged Tommy Fury. You know what I mean? Like, Tommy offered the deal. I mean, yes, you can say Tommy was chasing, but he was serious. So Frank Warren went out to Triller. And the thing is Jake dodged Triller even, or he left Triller because I also dodged Tommy Fury. This is a thing that people say, and that is true. But the reason why that's okay is because KSI said, why would I box Tommy Fury? He is so much better than me. So he admitted he was not good as Tommy Fury, and he was humble, and he was realistic about himself. If KSI said, I can beat Tommy Fury after he beat Logan Paul, I'd be like, you're going to lose. But have fun with that. You know what I mean? Or if KSI, like, here's the thing. If Tommy Fury called out Jake Paul and Jake Paul was just, like, not calling out, like Jake Paul, Tommy Fury just wants to be part of YT fighters instead of being a true boxer. You know, YT actually means white people on TikTok now, I guess, which is really weird. But anyways, he is no different than Jake and KSI. Yeah, but here's the thing. The reason why I want Jake Paul to fight Dylan Moran or Tommy Fury is because if you and your coaches, your main coach says he can beat Conor McGregor and he can maybe beat Canelo and say these outrageous things, and they believe it, then I'm expecting you to fight these really good people and beat them. If you boast so much, I expect you to go. KSI doesn't boast about his boxing like Jake Paul does. He did back in 2018. He got humbled, and now he talks differently. Go compare interviews of him talking about his boxing from 2018 to 2019. Huge difference, because he got humbled, and rightfully so. And so that's okay. That's why I'm okay with KSI docking Tommy Fury, because he was not saying I can beat Conor, and he was being truthful. And I would much rather have you be truthful than say these big things and then fight someone that's like Ben Askren or whatever. That frustrates me. And I would rather just not have a fight happen because you know you're not ready for it and you're going to be open and honest with yourself. I mean, even Tyson Fury wanted to fight Logan Paul just for Tommy to get clout. KSI said he would give Ryan Garcia a good fight. But if you watch that interview, he was laughing at that. He was joking. You know, he wasn't actually serious about that. And even if, and again, it's up for interpretation. But I would say, like, KSI would absolutely get destroyed by Ryan Garcia. You know what I mean? Like, you know, it's just Jake Paul. Like, KSI isn't saying all these huge things about everybody, whereas Jake is. But he's not fighting the people who should be fighting. If you want to be considered a legit, and you want to be considered a professional, which is what Jake wants, he wants validity, verification, you have to fight good people and take the risks. If he beat Dylan Moran and he beat Tommy Fury, then people would be like, that's a 50-50 fight with Conor. People would take him seriously, and they wouldn't hate on him. It's, you know, I mean, you can't compare yourself to Ali after you beat Nate Robinson. Like, that doesn't make any sense. Logan Paul could compare himself to Ali after he beat Floyd Mayweather. I mean, after he went 8 rounds with Mayweather. And Andres, you know, I want to see Jake versus Tommy, but like, Logan Paul could say I'm Ali, and that would be ridiculous because he didn't beat Floyd at all, and people say he looked terrible, even though I thought, you know, he was still in 8 rounds, but he won 8 rounds with Mayweather, so he can say absurd things, and you'd be like, he kind of has a right to say that. He can kind of say that, you know, but beating Nate Robinson doesn't warrant that. KSI keeps talking like he's the best YouTube fighter, but he hasn't fought in 2 years. Do you think he has a right to talk that way? But to be honest, okay, so KSI, I mean, well, here's the thing: is he's training, and he said, like, I know that the version that's within me now could beat Jake Paul, and I mean, let's be honest, KSI could beat a lot of YouTubers and TikTokers, and I think he could beat an MMA fighter. You know, not someone like that's at the level of, like, you know, Dustin Poirier, but, like, you know, I think he could beat Dylan Dennis. So, and he's undefeated. If you're undefeated, even like Conor, for example, has, you know, said he's the best of the best, and he didn't fight. He was inactive for many years, but he had the right to say that because he was undefeated. Well, he wasn't undefeated, but he had a years of being undefeated and being the best and proving people wrong and everything, and, you know, knocking out Jose Aldo and whatever. So I think he can say that, and he even put himself in almost there. So that kind of seems like he's saying that he's not the best of the best. But though, to be honest, Case, I did say that Tommy Fury is better than him, though. It's a bad move since if Jake beats Tommy, there would be no point for Jake versus KSI. I even told you I think KSI versus Tommy's a fight. He almost lost to a guy who trained for 3 days. Keep Neil Robinson and Ben Askren out of the conversation, bro. They don't count. What do you mean they don't count? KSI hasn't had a great feet yet. Feet shoe yet. I don't know what that means, Jackson. KSI hasn't had a great feat yet. I don't know if that means. Honestly, I would rather see KSI not fight Jake Paul, but Jake Paul to fight Tommy Fury and then prove that he is what he is. So then I don't have to get hate from people for saying, listen, this guy is not as good as you think he is, and he's fighting bums. Like, he hasn't done anything impressive yet. That's what Joe Neiman is saying. I would argue that KSI and Logan have done more impressive things than Jake. Logan, obviously, because he fought Floyd Mayweather, and KSI fought Logan Paul and Joe Weller. Joe Weller had never boxed before, but he was an athlete, and he'd been an athlete all of his life. And I know that athletes can't box, but JJ had done nothing athletic in his life and got in amazing shape. And I don't know how many people could perform the way he did with less than 10 months of training in front of millions of people in this massive arena that was the Copper Box. And with Logan Paul was at the level of KSI in terms of skill. And Logan Paul had moments where he was really beating KSI badly. And KSI proved that he could take a punch, that he could throw a punch, that he could get illegally hit and still have composure and be boxing more technical than he was in the first 3 rounds. He showed that he had heart, and he showed that you saw glimmers of like, wow, like that's the really good boxing abilities from KSI. And even though it didn't look that great from a technical standpoint, he still fought somebody that was at his level. And that to me is like, and for Jake Paul, Deji, Gibb, Ben Askren, Nate Robinson, all below your level. And Ben Askren and Nate Robinson, athlete, MMA fighter, but skills like a YouTube boxer. So you can only continue to fight YouTubers. And I say that Ben Askren is a fake fighter. If Joe being an athlete, then Nate being a world-class athlete outshines Joe, and Logan was a wrestler going into a boxing match. Ben was also a wrestler at a higher level. They legit faced similar levels. Lameo. Well, the difference between Joe and Nate Robinson is Joe Weller, despite not having a great camp, took it seriously. He sparred, he got in shape, he just mentally just was not there. He just choked. Whereas Nate Robinson mentally wasn't there and did not come prepared at all. He literally just didn't even spar at all, like just once. So that's the big difference between Joe and Nate. And Logan was a wrestler going into a boxing match. And again, Logan was a wrestler, and he clinched a lot, but you can clinch in boxing. And again, Logan Paul and KSI, like Logan Paul was more adversary than any of Jake's fights, and technically is so superior to anyone Jake has ever fought. And he actually had a chance of beating Jake Paul. Of beating KSI. None of Jake's opponents, even before the fight, had a chance of beating Jake Paul, except maybe, actually no. They legit face similar. And again, Ben was a wrestler, but a wrestler who didn't know how to box at all. At all. And Logan Paul was a wrestler, but he actually knew how to box. He actually was beating KSI at various times in the first and second fight. But Gibb had more experience and better wins than Jake. I agree with Angel. Again, Gibb's first fight was against a half-blind guy. His second fight was a guy who never boxed before, who was not an athlete. And then he fought Jake Paul, who was a clear weight advantage. And Vidal even said we should never have had that kind of weight difference. Even Roundhouse Radio said that he wouldn't want to see Gibb fight Jake because it would just be too much of a mismatch in terms of weight. Again, Gibb only became good at boxing after he lost to Jake. The hype that everyone curated around Gibb and that everyone thought he never was. But he became the hype. He became good after Jake. If he performed the way he performed against Taylor, against Jake, that fight that Jake still beat Gibb, that's a legit win to Jake. I give him credit for that. But that's not what happened. Angel, Logan versus Ben Askren in the ring, who would win? Logan wins, obviously. What kind of question is that? My point exactly. I'm not saying they had similar skill levels, but Jake is following the same narrative of KSI, a athlete and a wrestler. Logan was the better boxer than Ben Askren, obviously. Except, here's the thing. Jake fought an athlete who didn't try at all, who took Jake not seriously. Joe Weller took KSI seriously and trained hard. He just choked mentally. That's the big difference. And wrestler, Logan Paul was a wrestler who knew how to box, or knew how to box better than Ben Askren, which is so sad that a YouTuber, or a guy that's, I don't even call him a YouTuber, a guy that's been boxing for less than a decade can somehow be better than a guy that's been doing this for 3 decades and has multiple accolades. And again, that's because Ben Askren is not a real fighter. He is a wrestler and a fighter in a name only. He's an amazing wrestler, a terrible fighter. And that's a controversial statement to make, but I'm saying it. And I will always say that. Nappy, what are you trying to prove? That's like mentioning the sky is blue. That's true. But it's like Ben Askren, Hey man, come on, he's an amazing fighter, dude. Ouch. Yeah, Ben Askren. Listen, in a cage, he's great, but again, I say this all the time. His clinching made the opponent go down because that was Ben's biggest advantage, and then he was able to recover. And again, Ben Askren was fighting dudes that were way lighter and way shorter than Jake Paul. And his biggest advantage, his best thing, he couldn't use in the ring. And again, Ben Askren was older, shorter, weaker, smaller. And I mean, just look at the sparring footage. This guy could not fight for his life. He could not fight for his life. If half of his MMA fights were in boxing, he would be like one of the worst like fighters of all time. People would say that. And I think he's an overrated chin because again, people don't understand that him getting pounded on by Robbie Lawyer is not as powerful as it looks, and it's not as powerful as getting hit with one shot in boxing. And it doesn't have to just be Jake Paul. If KSI, if Logan Paul, if I don't know about Gary, if those guys hit Ben with the exact same shot that Jake did, Ben would get knocked down. So you see how it's not that special of a win. My opinion. Logan Paul went 8 rounds with the greatest boxer and gave Floyd a lot of problems. He did not give Floyd problems. He just couldn't jab, which was expected. Yes, he did. Who do you think is the most skilled YouTube boxer? Floyd even said after the fight, dude, Floyd was praising his clinch game. As a boxer, the last thing you want to praise on is your clinch game. You know what? Listen, my thing on this is, like, you can say Logan was terrible looking technically, and he was, and of course he's going to look really bad. Against a YouTuber, he's going to look really good. So he's going to look bad against Floyd Mayweather. Any YouTuber is, Jake Paul, KSI, they're just going to look a lot worse. But there are some dudes that are as big as Logan, that are as tall as Logan, who would get crumbled in 2 rounds by Floyd, who would just get so scared that they would get hit with one shot and they go down. Like Logan got hit with a lot of big shots. He knew how to utilize the clinch, and he knew how to keep Floyd away from him. And there was even a point in the fight when Logan was going like this, and he was doing the same thing as Floyd, and Floyd missed. And then he didn't do it, and then Floyd hit him. And it's like, those are things where, like, you have to give Logan credit. And again, there were some people that are way better than Logan, technically, but would absolutely crumble in a ring with Floyd Mayweather. You know, like, mentally, what you have to be prepared to do. You know, and Logan kind of stuck with his game plan pretty much. There were a couple of moments when he went off script, and you can tell when he did this thing with Floyd, but yeah. Anyways, again, I think the most skilled YouTube boxer is technically, yes, Jake Paul. But, you know, again, my controversial stance on this is I think Logan Paul is followed by KSI only because they fought people and proven that their lesser skill can still make them not get Nate Robinson, can still make them go the entire fight and getting knocked down and getting back up. If Tyron Woodley is really good and Jake Paul beats Tyron Woodley, he will go to number 1. Once Jake Paul just has a good fight and he can show that he can, like, here's the thing, you can bet it's amazing that you can box off the back foot with Nate Robinson, but if you can't do that against someone that's good, how you can't be on the pedestal. I can't put you at the top, you know. But if KSI, who has lesser skills, but he can still utilize certain things against a better opponent, it just shows that he's better. I don't know. And again, I'm not trying to make KSI to be this great boxer, because he's not. He's got a lot of flaws. But he's proven a lot, and I have a lot of respect for him. And I'm trying to be as unbiased as possible. I really am. I really want you guys to know that I don't try and fanboy for KSI. I'm just telling you how I see it. Logan, we get this guy. I always said Logan, even against KSI, I told you he looked scared and was choking. Logan is overrated. Agreed. Juman. Wait, what did he say? He hasn't improved at all. The same as he would on underhand punches, underhand slaps. He's on the heavy back like an air balloon guy in front of a car dealership or a car wash. Angel is facts. There's a video that I want you guys to watch, because it actually, and this is a guy that I think knows what he's talking about, or at least I think he knew what he's talking about, and it's this channel. It's, what is it? XIWIMMA, and it's like a 28-minute video, and he definitely shows off. It's called Can Logan Paul Box? Or Logan Paul Boxing Explained, and Logan actually improved. from the first fight to the Floyd fight. He actually shows examples of improvement, but regression. He said Logan improved in the Floyd fight, but he also regressed in some areas. And it's a very thorough breakdown, but I think it's great. But a cringe YouTuber, Logan Paul, someone just get the distance. But back said Dana confirms a 4th fight. You know what? It's kind of stupid, but it makes sense. He is milking. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't a satisfying ending, but Nappy, he hugged his way to the final belly, didn't box there. But he still made it, though. Like, here's the thing. I understand that the clinching is what carried Logan. There's much more clinch attempts than jab attempts. The clinching got Logan, but he knew how to utilize the clinch. There were some guys that know how to clinch better than Logan Paul who know how to utilize that. And he was, even in the last round, trying to get Mayweather. And Jake and Logan, in KSI, I don't think could make it to 8 rounds with Mayweather. One, because they're smaller and they weigh less. And their clinching wouldn't be effective. Like, I don't think Jake Paul would make it 8 rounds with Mayweather. And I'm going to tell you why. If you look at Jake's sparring footage, he is super aggressive, super attacking. And in a breakdown video that I saw, I think it was Way Concept, he said, Jake, if you're going to hit Jake, he's going to always hit you back. And, Jake would just miss all the time with Floyd. He would get some good shots in, and I think he would definitely bring an aggression, but he would get tired out. And it would just, even if he got a little tired, Floyd is just going to go in there, and Jake can clinch well, but he wouldn't clinch as well as Logan. And he would just get tired, and I think he would get a stoppage. Floyd would get a stoppage. The ref would call it off. Jake would get wobbled. It would get over. Or he could make it to 8 rounds, but he would look in a lot worse shape than Logan. And Jake is not 6'2". Is not 6 foot. He's like 5'11", almost 6 foot. So, Nappy, there's more clinical attempts. But Andres, here's the thing: people clinch to buy time when they're ahead of the fight, and it's one like David Haney. Nappy, we talked about this, but Logan wasn't clinching to keep his head; he was clinching to survive. Yeah, that is true. But guess what? He survived. And that to me is impressive because again, there are some people that could be great clinchers, but that can't do that. That are better than Logan Paul. And if Logan can last longer, even though the clinching is what carried him, he still used his physical attributes to go 8 rounds. You overrated Logan right now. I overrated Logan right now. I agree, Jake wouldn't last all 8 rounds with Floyd unless Floyd carries. But if Jake doesn't last 8 rounds with Floyd, then that shows to me that Jake just is not as good as Logan is. And it's weird to say that because Logan has shown that he looks technically bad, or not as good as Jake. But if Logan's whatever, like his clinching, is surviving, whatever, he still went 8 rounds with Mayweather. And if Jake went 5 rounds with Mayweather and he got knocked out cold, or he just got a ref stoppage, that just shows that he couldn't take the tools from his toolbox and utilize them. He couldn't handle the smoke. He couldn't do what he was doing against bums. And if you can't do that, then that shows to me you were not on that. You were never on the pedestal. And I refuse to put someone on a pedestal until they've proven themselves. It's my opinion. I agree. Well, a lot of people thought that Floyd was going to go through Logan. That's not how it works nowadays. Boxing isn't rock, paper, scissors. Logan was 5 inches taller and 40 pounds heavier than Logan. That's why he went the distance. See, here's the thing. If Jake didn't make the distance with Floyd, that doesn't translate to Logan being better than Jake. It's like Foreman and Ali and Joe Frazier. Here's the thing. Logan was taller and he weighed more. But wasn't it Floyd and his fans that were saying height and weight don't matter in a fight? Or all this stuff? Like, here's the thing. Logan should have gotten rocked by Floyd. He really should have. And if you don't, and I don't like the people downplaying Floyd Mayweather's power at all. He's not a KO master like Tyson is, but everyone, majority of people, and if you deny it, you're lying to yourself, said Logan Paul is going to not make it the 8 rounds. Floyd will most likely take him out. It's not like Logan would lose on points or whatever. Like Floyd would just stop him. That's what was supposed to happen. That is what should have happened. That is what all of you expected to happen, and that didn't happen. That's what you guys thought. The fight was stupid. It's like the fight was stupid. Yeah, I mean, of course it was stupid. So here's the thing. I get what you're saying that, if Jake didn't make the distance, that doesn't translate to Logan being better than Jake. But it shows that Logan was able to utilize a part of himself enough to survive. Like, here's the thing. If Jake went in, balls to the walls like Conor did, and then he just gassed out, and then he got just obliterated, and he didn't know how to handle it, it shows that one, he's because like Logan showed heart. He showed that he's able to take punches. If Floyd hit it, here's the thing. Let's say Floyd hit Jake with the same punch to the chin that he did to Logan, like that bang, that one shot, and Jake just dropped from it, or he just went like this, so he went into a corner, and Floyd was just going in on him. That just shows you don't have as much heart as your brother. You can't take punches as well as your brother. If Jake Paul tried to go on the back foot with Floyd Mayweather, and it was unsuccessful every time. He was getting caught. He was going in super aggressive, but he would never land any shots. And he was getting hit again. And he got hurt more. That doesn't mean anything. Like, Jake doing all this stuff would mean nothing. And it would just show that, like, Logan, again, I say the only YouTuber that could really fight Mayweather was Logan, because Logan is a thinking fighter. He doesn't take risks. He doesn't want to brawl with you. Jake wants to brawl with you. But that could get Jake in trouble against someone that's as defensive as Mayweather. Whereas with Logan, the first round was so slow until the last 20 seconds, because Logan was trying to mimic his movements. He was trying to he wasn't trying to completely destroy his energy. And I know boxing is very much based in technical stuff, right? But it's a thinking sport too. And if Logan Paul was able to maintain, because he conserved his energy, like he was still tired going to the fifth, and like in the second half of the fight, he was still really tired, right? But again, he was being smart. It was not an entertaining fight. It was a boring fight with a lot of clinching. But Logan was trying to survive. He was trying to actively make it 8 rounds, which is a win for him. Which is a win. A guy that's been boxing for 3 years should not go 8 rounds with Floyd Mayweather. And again, it's like, and it's not just the technical side. Mentally, you are someone that's been boxing for 3 years, and you're going to go in Hard Rock Stadium and fight in front of thousands of people, millions at home, and you're going to fight Floyd Mayweather in your 3rd fight. There were some people that would quite literally stand there like Joe Weller and get knocked down in 1 round. So we have to give Logan credit there. And if someone can manage to maintain, because Logan's going in with his plan pretty much. And if Jake Paul couldn't do that, to me, he seems lesser than Logan. And I'm not just, because with these boxing tier lists, everyone just focuses on one specific thing. And I try to focus on one specific thing, but I genuinely like to look at everything besides just the jabs and the hooks, because there's so much more to boxing than that, in my opinion. Logan would go the distance, but Jake would just cause more damage. Logan didn't use his skills, though, Andres. He used his weight. It was legit a middleweight versus a heavyweight. Jake wouldn't try to survive. But here's the thing. I don't think Jake would do more damage, because because we saw with Conor, Conor landed some good shots on Floyd. But then in the second half of the fight, man was getting absolutely dominated. And when you get missed, and Jake is not at the level of Conor. So Jake would miss a lot of his shots. He'd get countered all the time. He'd get tired. And because he wouldn't have this huge advantage in terms of height and weight and being able to clinch, he'd just get rocked. I say that if Logan was smaller than he was, he wouldn't go 8 rounds. The smaller you are, the more likely you're not going to succeed. And it's great that you do a little bit more damage than Logan, for example, but if you're constantly getting countered, and then let's say Jake Paul gets put on the canvas, it's like, I don't think, and I think the same thing with KSI. I think he would also come out super aggressive and wild, and he would get countered, and he'd get tired, and the ref would stop the fight. And yeah, I don't think any YouTuber should be fighting any pro boxers. Jake went to try to survive. He would try to actually fight. Floyd went in weighing at 155, so he ate after weighing, so he must be 160. Middleweight was really not fair to use Floyd as a measuring stick. Floyd's not even natural. If forgetting that Floyd was like 40 pounds heavier than Floyd, and that was just the weigh-in, he probably was around 200 pounds. But dude, Logan had an amazing hit on Floyd by his ear, yet his 40-pound advantage couldn't drop a grandfather. Here's the thing, though. You can say, "Oh, Logan, you didn't knock him out," but it's Floyd Mayweather, guys. Come on, like Floyd Mayweather can get hit by a guy that's 200 pounds and not get put on the canvas like that. He could take big punches from Jake Paul for multiple rounds before he got knocked out. Let's not downplay Floyd here, okay? You're severely underestimating the weight difference. Wait, you admit Logan is only good because of his size? Well, he fought against a smaller opponent. His size was a huge part of his success, because if I'm 6'2", 200 pounds, and I'm fighting a guy that's 40 pounds lighter and a lot shorter than me, I have a lot of physical advantages. We saw with the KSI fight, he had these long arms, and he was able to keep KSI off. And in the breakdown that the Kiki MMA guy did, and I didn't even notice this, in the second fight, KSI landed a jab, and Logan used his shoulder to pounce it off, and that's because Logan's build is way bigger than KSI's, and he used that physical advantage like this, and he can clinch, and again, clinching is what Logan can do, and he was literally weighing down on Floyd, but it was smart. Like you can do that, and we saw this with KSI. And again, Floyd was able to maintain his composure, but against someone that's like KSI, who's not been doing this for years, you're going to get the other guy frustrated. And we saw that KSI got frustrated because Logan was constantly clinching him. And in the first fight, and in the second fight, KSI gets frustrated. He goes like this, right? Logan Paul, bang, would punch him or something, or would counter him or whatever. And again, that's just Logan can do that. So hold on. Let me see what you guys are saying, because I was going on a tangent here. Dude, you're severely undermet. Wasn't Floyd known for having a granted chin, or am I wrong? I mean, his chin was. I mean, it's not like it's like amazing, but it's Floyd Mayweather, Dude, Floyd had a chin, but still 50-pound difference, and heavyweight could have knocked out Floyd if given the chance. Case Everson, Tyron Woodley, who wins? Woodley. I think it's a 50-50 fight. I'm not going to choose someone. Somebody like a Wilder can knock down Floyd. Yes, Wilder would KO Floyd. So would Canelo, or even Usyk. Logan had a 40-pound advantage, no matter the chin strength. Okay, but here's the thing. Those guys have been boxing for years. And even then, I don't think maybe Tyson Fury could knock down Floyd with one shot. But I think it's guys, Floyd can take a shot from even the best, but probably not as many as Logan and Jake, because Logan and Jake are new to this, and they're not gonna, have all, like, they're not gonna increase in your power. So I don't think that saying like all these, of course, these other bigger guys like Canelo, Wilder would probably have a better chance of knocking out Floyd than Logan and Jake, but those are like professionals. And he's not fighting professionals. He's fighting people that are novices, that have not been boxing for that long. And Logan Paul, like, I don't think a Deontay Wilder at 20, or however old Logan is, or having 3 fights, would be able to KO someone at Floyd's level as easily as he maybe would be now. Although, I don't know, Wilder, his technical ability isn't that great. So, I mean, who knows? Yes, Wilder would KO Floyd. Logan did land it. It's not my experience, Andres. Logan did land it. No, it's about the skill. Logan didn't land it, but he didn't have the power to put him, not to mention Floyd is a grandfather. He's 40 years old, guys. Like, Conor, like, I don't know why I say Conor. Tyson Fury is a pillow-fisted fighter. I don't know about that, but Logan did land that shot. But, I mean, again, if he went in it with all of his might, I think Floyd would still be fine. Like, I'm not someone that's, because I bet you, like, if you told me, like, oh, like, back in, like, when this fight was announced that, Logan Paul would land one big shot on Floyd, I wouldn't think, oh, Floyd's going to get knocked out or whatever. He's one of the greatest fighters in the world, guys. Like, even if, like, I don't even know if, like, it's like smaller dudes versus, like, bigger dudes. So, and I think if Tyson Fury hit Floyd with a big shot, Floyd would probably get rocked. but I don't think it'd go down. It's yeah. So, anyways, do Nappy, did you see what he did wildly? Plus, he busted 15 limbs. Who wins the Adam Sala KSI spar? KSI purely based on height and weight. KSI's punches just would be too powerful for Adam Sala. I think Adam could have some success in the spar, but I think the power of KSI, and I say that with if Gib and Jake rematched, I think Gib would do better, but I think Jake's power would just be too much for Gib. Wilder is the most KOs in the heavyweight division so far, but it doesn't matter if he's an all-time great. His endurance is not his thing, and 40 pounds should have put him down. Nappy Wilder fought bums. Here's the thing. I think a 40-pound advantage, it should, right? But I don't know. Logan doesn't fully go in with his punches. So that's his own issues. Now, if Jake did that, it also wouldn't be as impactful because Jake is a lot less than Logan. And I think Floyd would be able to take a shot from Jake Paul to the eardrum and not get and not get put on the canvas. At all. I don't if we're just looking at Jake and Logan, I don't think Jake Paul would land one shot and Floyd would go down. I don't think even if Logan put all of his mind into it, I don't think Floyd would go down. That's just my opinion. I know that it's controversial, but that's what I think. Wilder has the most KOs so far. If KSI loses to Jake, does that mean Jake is better than Logan? It depends. Well, it depends because Jake's gonna fight more people before he gets to KSI. So, because if Jake beats people that are at his height and weight, like Tommy, KSI, and then maybe he would be better than Logan. But I don't know if I say that Jake will be number one when he fights someone good, and he has an actual competitive fight, and then he'll be number one. Round one KOs KSI. Does that mean he destroys Logan? Well, so Jake Paul KOs KSI in one round. Does that mean he destroys Logan? I would say no because KSI and Logan fight so differently, and the way KSI would fight Jake in order to get knocked out in the first round wouldn't have to be really poor. And I think Logan is someone that is willing to push you away and make you agitated. So I don't think Jake Paul would destroy Logan Paul or KSI, really. I think Jake could be both of them. But I also think that Logan and KSI can beat Jake. But I think that both of those fights would be 50-50. And I think both opponents would have success. It doesn't. I don't know about that, Angel. It doesn't. What I'm trying to say is boxing. Oh, she's talking Nappy. Yeah. So yeah. I feel like I should do a Q&A for a video, but the problem is I don't know if enough people would be willing to do that. So here's the thing. If you want me to do a Q&A video, just leave comments on this live or on my past recent video. And if I get enough questions, I will do a Q&A video at some point. But I want to do a Jake Paul boxing breakdown because there were some people that want me to do that because I did one on Cal Friesney and KSI. And I'll probably just do that on the Ben Askren fight, there's not a lot there, but there is some pros and there are cons to that fight in terms of his technical ability. And I obviously went over that with the Roundhouse Radio video, so I'll do that. But yeah, we don't have any other fights until August, the end of August, and that's Jake and Woodley. So that's crazy because we were supposed to get Wilder and Fury in 2 weeks. And now we're not, so that's great. Yeah, so I think that's what I have to say. What a live guy. We're going for a longer than I was expecting. Oh, God. see. Jake Paul post anything. What a night, guys. What a night. Oh, also, any of you guys have seen the new Black Widow movie? Tell me what you think, because I thought it was actually a pretty decent movie. It wasn't amazing, but it was all right. It was a solid 7 out of 10. And you could say that the Taskmaster being a woman was a disappointment, but it made sense to the storyline. And yeah, AJ does have a better resume than Wilder. Yeah, that's true, probably. Does he? I don't know. And if you guys have seen Loki, tell me what you think about that too, because that's a great TV show. That's a great TV show, and I really hope that it's not a failure of a finale, because it's one of the best Disney Plus MCU shows I think there's ever been. Like WandaVision and Falcon and Winter Soldier were great. People didn't like Falcon because it was political, but I agree with the political ideology of that show. I do agree with it, but yeah. Wow, it's crazy. It's almost 2 a.m. And how come a guy with 20 fights has a better resume than a guy with almost 4 fights? Yeah, I mean, here's the thing: is like Jake Paul has a better record than KSI, but KSI has had more impressive fights and done more than Jake Paul has. So while Jake, I mean, and if Jake fights Woodley or he fights someone really good and he loses, or he wins but it's a poor win, it just shows that record doesn't mean anything. Okay. This was a great live stream. Great chat. Got Angel on. We got good views. We got 1 like. I thought this was going to be a fail of a live stream. Luckily, it wasn't. So make sure to like, subscribe, comment, and if you want me to do a Q&A video, leave comments in the live stream video or the past video, and I'll do that sometime this week. And I'm going to do a Jake Paul breakdown, probably put that on Monday, and then I'll do the Q&A on Wednesday, and then I don't know what else is going to happen. So anyways, have a nice day.